let's dig this thing open and see what's in here. There we go. So, okay, all right.
Do you know that anything goes for starting gospel conversations, even with total strangers? To prove the point, I sealed and sent our equipping evangelists crazy pictures to serve as secret conversation starters that they can't even see until they hit the streets and open the envelopes.
We got a picture of Justin Trudeau. We got a picture of the rainbow flag in the background here. This one could definitely be a more controversial one to spark up a conversation about.
Hey bud, how's it going? I just opened this about 5-10 minutes ago. This picture, there's a picture in here, and essentially all I do is I open the picture and we have a conversation about the picture.
Okay.
What are your initial thoughts on the picture? What do you think?
Maybe he's in the conference, or maybe he's giving some kind of speech.
Yeah.
About the rainbow flag.
About the rainbow flag, yeah.
That's my initial thought by seeing the picture.
Yeah. What do you think about Justin Trudeau, and what do you think about the flag? What are your initial thoughts there?
Maybe he's trying to be open about
it, promote
it, everything like that, and I think he is telling people to never hide their
sexualities or their gender expression and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about that? Do you think that's be as honest as possible? Do you think it's a good thing, a bad thing?
It's a good thing. Yeah. It's not a bad thing. I mean, everyone has their opinion about things, and I think it's a good thing. People, they don't have to hide their. Sometimes people feel shy. They feel conscious. They don't
They don't feel like they can express themselves.
Yeah, express themselves in front of crowd. Okay. I think he's promoting that, and he's letting people know that you have to be confident in yourself. You don't have to be, afraid or shy, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So, do you think that there is maybe a right way or a wrong way to express yourself sexually, or do you think that pretty much anything goes? What do you think about that?
There is a right way. You have to be polite.
Okay.
First of all. And you don't have to.
Oh, you mean if you're promoting it, you have to be polite. Okay.
You don't have to come out too strong.
Okay.
And that's my thought.
Do you think that people could still disagree about these things and still actually have respect and love? If somebody said, you know what, I don't think we should express ourselves any way we feel, but could we still respect and love each other even if we disagreed? Yeah,
everyone's like a human being. You should respect each and every one of them.
Right.
So it's fine.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine who is gay, and
right.
We don't have an issue with that.
Right. Yeah.
He's cool with us. So
right. So and I'm a Bible believing Christian, right? I've had coworkers who have expressed themselves in a bunch of different ways sexually. I've also had some different friends, or there's even family members of mine who express themselves in different ways other than just heterosexual, right?
Yep.
So my question is, you mentioned, we talked about before, is there a right way or is there a wrong way? You said if you're promoting it, then you'd obviously want to do it with a loving heart, right? You want to be very loving about that. Respectful and loving, not in your face, not
hurting anyone's sentiments, feelings.
Okay,
Just be calm,
right.
Not coming out too strong.
For sure, and we'll do that for this entire conversation as well, right? Which is good. So, in terms of promoting it, that's the ethic that you say we should have. Do you think though that there is a right way and a wrong? Do you think that there is sexual acts that you could perform that are wrong? I could give a couple examples.
Yeah, probably.
Right, so for instance, if I said I want to be a rapist, right? No. We would both agree. Okay, well that's wrong, right?
That's wrong. That's
right.
Wrong.
Why do you think that's wrong?
Oh.
Yeah.
Being a rapist, it's not good.
Yeah. What if I was kind of being well, no, that's my expression. That's who I am. And if I was kind of in your face and adamant about it, right?
I would be scared, honestly.
Yeah. No
I would
kidding.
be
Yeah,
scared.
you should be. You should be.
Everyone would be like really uncomfortable. They would be scared, and I don't think so. Anyone want to be around you if you.
No
come
kidding.
Out,
If I said, okay, I'm gonna just force myself upon people and all
I don't
that
think
stuff,
so.
right?
People would be comfortable around you.
Right. Yeah, I would.
Would be.
I would 100% agree. Yeah, I would 100% agree. So like, and then even like, if there was like a young kid, right, or like a minor, something like that, and I was just like, well, that's the way I express myself. No one would be comfortable around me.
No one would be comfortable around
would they? So the only reason I bring those two extreme examples up, right, is because I do believe that there is a right way and a wrong way, because those acts are wrong, right?
Wrong. Yeah.
But my question would be, who do you think, or what do you think decides what is right and what is wrong? Because we know now, based on the fact that we've established something, there is some wrong ways and there is maybe and right ways. So what do you think about that?
Probably there is a right way to say things.
Right.
And there are wrong ways. You know, the one you said like about being a rapist.
Right.
Oh,
that's wrong. That's right.
Wrong. You cannot go around and tell that in a public.
Right.
Because you know, like we have seen our past history, right?
Yeah.
And people who force on things like that.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Right, yeah, it's wrong. And as you said, no one would be comfortable around us,
no one
right?
would be comfortable.
So let me explain this to you too, because I think a lot of the times, I'm a Bible-believing Christian, I told you that, right? And a lot of the times we get this impression like we hate a bunch of people if they're outside the ethic of heterosexual marriage, right? But what's interesting is that I believe, and actually this was taught to me from a pastor a long time ago, is that I think that Christians, we have a lot more in common with the community, this than we do different.
Yeah.
And the reason being is that nobody's actually upheld. Like if you look at the Bible and what God says about him making them male and female, and then even what Jesus said in the New Testament, he said, you've heard it said of old, you shall not commit adultery, right? Because that would be a immoral sexual act, right? If I have a covenant with my wife, I'm not to cheat on her. That's wrong.
That's wrong.
Right?
Yeah.
So Jesus said, but I say to you, if anybody looks upon a woman or somebody else with lust in their heart, they've committed adultery within their heart, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at that ethic, who's ever lived up to that?
No one.
Nobody.
No one.
So that's why I say like we would have more in common than we would different, because everybody's broken that law.
Yeah,
from a Bible standpoint.
True.
Everyone's done it, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So the question would be then, since everybody's broken the law, the biblical law, how can we respect each other? How can God uphold his justice and his forgiveness, since everybody's broken it, and we still come out and love each other on the other side? What do you think God did to try to reconcile sinners? Since everybody's broken his law, what did he do to reconcile sinners to himself?
I think.
Do you know what he did?
No.
From a Bible standpoint?
No.
No? Can I share with you really quick? So he sent his son Jesus into the world, right? So obviously we talked about the sexual ethic. That's one of the commandments because it deals with adultery, right?
Yep.
But he also said don't lie, right? Don't steal. We've all lied before. I've told a lie before. You told a lie before, right?
Yeah.
So you see, we have more in common than we do different because we all stand guilty before God, right? So what Jesus did, he came into this world. He lived the life that I couldn't live, that Pre couldn't live, that Luke and Pre couldn't live. He died the death I should have died. And so when I put my faith and trust in him, right? When I put my faith and trust in him, God now sees me as Jesus, not as the lying, lusting, thieving, adulterer at heart. He sees the perfection of Jesus, right? And me having a heart of thanks for what Jesus did on the cross allows me to love people regardless of whether they've upheld the sexual standard or not. Right?
Yep.
See what I mean? So it's funny because, again, more in common than we do different. And what we all need, we believe, is Jesus to reconcile all of us to God. Does that make sense?
Right. It does.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Whatever you said, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
I haven't even thought about this before.
Right.
Right now, I'm probably thinking about it.
Because everybody's broken the law, right?
Yeah.
So we pursue Jesus, and then out of a relationship with him, we get righteousness. So it's funny because, I started to pursue Jesus when I was 21, okay? I myself was outside of this sexual standard, but I didn't scream of God's sexual standard, like the Bible's sexual standard. But I myself didn't, flip up the bird at God. I wasn't angry at him, and I didn't say, man, why I want to express myself this way. I started to just repent and then pursue heterosexual marriage. That's what I did because that's how God changed my heart. Right? And so I think that there's a way that we can still point people to the cross. We can love each other regardless of what anybody's done. Makes sense? Yeah? Cool, man. So Preet, it's been a pleasure chatting with you.
It was nice talking
really
to you as
appreciate you taking the time. I know your friends are waiting for you. Can I?
No,
Maybe they left you. Maybe they left you. Excuse me. Let me, do you have time? I can give you a resource of a couple things we're giving out, just that you were so kind.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, really appreciate it. So here, let me give you one of these. This is called the 7 C's of History.
Okay.
It's an Answers in Genesis resource. They have to do with like God creating from the beginning. So that gives you a bit of a guideline on like what the Bible says about the timeline where we're at, what happened when God created, the fall, and then how Jesus wants to restore all people to himself. God bless you, man. Thank you. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you,
God bless. Take care. So I think that honestly went as well as it could have gone. Give me your thoughts on it and let me know how you think it went.